The Pet Detectives. Ethan loved dogs. He knew every pooch in the neighborhood by name. When pets started disappearing, he decided to take action. Grace was the local cat whisperer. Her house was a haven for strays. She joined Ethan, curious about the missing cats. Carlos, a retired detective, missed the thrill of the chase. He offered his expertise to the budding detective agency. Molly, the tech-savvy teenager, brought her gadgets to the team. She could track anything with a signal. The picturesque neighborhood, with its white picket fences and blooming gardens, hid secrets behind its charming facade. The first meeting of the pet detectives was held in Ethan's garage. Ethan laid out the case files, photos of the missing pets. "We need a plan," Carlos said, his detective instincts kicking in. "Let's start by interviewing the pet owners." Grace took notes as they spoke to Mrs. Thompson. Her tabby, Mr. Whiskers, had vanished 2 nights ago. "He always comes home for dinner," Mrs. Thompson said, dabbing her eyes. "This isn't like him at all." Ethan patted her shoulder. "We'll find him," he promised. "We just need to figure out where to start." Molly scanned the area with her drone, looking for clues. "I'll map out the disappearances," she said. They discovered a pattern: all the pets vanished near the old park. It was their first real lead. Grace, ever the snoop, decided to stake out the park. She hid in the bushes with a pair of binoculars. "This is ridiculous," Carlos muttered, but he couldn't deny the excitement he felt. He kept watch from his car. Ethan brought along his dog, Max, hoping his canine friend could pick up a scent. Max sniffed eagerly. Hours passed with no sign of the missing pets. Just when they were about to give up, Max barked excitedly. They followed Max to an old shed behind the park. Ethan's heart raced as they approached the creaky door. Inside, they found a few pet collars and leashes. "Someone's been here," Carlos said, examining the items. Grace noticed a flyer pinned to the wall. It advertised a lost pet service. "Maybe this is connected," she said. Molly used her tech skills to track the number on the flyer. It led them to a woman named Ms. Partridge. Ms. Partridge lived in a quaint house filled with plants. She welcomed them with a smile. "How can I help you?" "We're looking for missing pets," Ethan explained. "Do you know anything about them?" Ms. Partridge looked puzzled. "I just try to help animals in need," she said. "I take in strays and care for them." Grace narrowed her eyes. "And what about pets that already have homes? Have you taken any of those?" Ms. Partridge seemed taken aback. "I would never take a pet that belongs to someone else," she insisted. Carlos suggested they inspect her yard. Ms. Partridge hesitated but agreed. "I have nothing to hide," she said. They found a few of the missing pets lounging in Ms. Partridge's garden, looking well-fed and happy. "These are our missing pets," Ethan exclaimed. "Why do you have them?" Ms. Partridge sighed. "I thought they were abandoned. They seemed so lonely and hungry." Grace shook her head. "They have homes. Their owners are worried sick." Ms. Partridge looked remorseful. "I just wanted to help. I didn't mean to cause any trouble." Molly showed Ms. Partridge the data she collected. These pets were taken from their homes, not the streets. "I see," Ms. Partridge said quietly. "I misunderstood the situation. I'm so sorry." They decided to hold a neighborhood meeting to explain everything. Ms. Partridge apologized publicly. The pet owners were relieved to have their furry friends back. They thanked the pet detectives for their efforts. Ethan suggested a solution. "Why don't we all work together to help pets in need and ensure none go missing again?" The neighbors agreed. They formed a community watch to keep an eye on each other's pets. Grace felt proud of their teamwork. "We make a great team," she said. "And our pets are safer because of it." Carlos nodded. "We solved our first case. Who knows what other mysteries are out there?" Molly grinned. "I can't wait to use my gadgets on the next adventure. This was so much fun." Ethan looked at his friends and smiled. "The pet detectives are officially in business. Let's see what we can uncover next." As they disbanded for the day, Ethan felt a sense of satisfaction. They had made a difference in their community. Word of the pet detectives spread quickly. Soon, they were getting calls about all sorts of pet-related issues. One day, they received a call about a mischievous raccoon stealing cat food. It was their next big challenge. Grace set up a trap with a camera to catch the raccoon in action. "This is going to be hilarious," she said. Carlos offered tips on setting the trap effectively. "We don't want to hurt it, just catch it." The camera captured the raccoon in the act. They released it back into the wild, far from the neighborhood. "I can't believe we caught it on camera," Molly laughed. "We should start a blog about our adventures." Ethan agreed. "Let's document everything. Who knows? We might become famous pet detectives." The pet detectives continued to solve mysteries, each case bringing them closer together as friends. They uncovered lost pets, reunited owners, and even helped find a runaway turtle once. Grace's snooping skills, Carlos's detective experience, Molly's tech knowledge, and Ethan's love for pets made them unstoppable. They became local heroes, their quirky methods endearing them to the community. Everyone trusted them. One night, as they celebrated another successful case, Ethan raised a toast. "To the pet detectives. To friendship and adventure," Grace added, clinking her glass with Ethan's. "And to all the pets we'll save in the future," Carlos said, smiling at his new friends. Molly nodded. "We're just getting started. There are so many more mysteries out there." They knew their little detective agency had a bright future. The bond they formed was unbreakable. Together, they would face any challenge that came their way. The pet detectives were here to stay, ready for the next adventure.